prospects in Vienna this weekend as well. Much is expected of him, and Paul Nicholson, I for one suspect he'll have just about too much here for Rene Eidams.
Well, the form book does indicate that, doesn't it? And I was thrilled for Cristo because he's worked really hard for that victory against Peter Wright. He really deserved it, and Peter Wright, in the classy way that he is, was full of praise for Cristo as well. But Cristo has celebrated that win with a shave. He's not looking rugged today, he's looking very smooth, but he's ready for business.
That'd be useful in useless in a police line.
I
just didn't notice. I was wondering what's changed here, and there it is. It's clear as the lack of beard on his face. Reyes with the honour of starting things off, winning the ball downstairs and kicking things off with a ton 40. Well, Eidams came through yesterday. He had to work hard for his 6-5 win over Justin Pipe, coming from behind in that one. Averaged 83.03. It was the lowest of any of yesterday's winners.
100.
It was a very unusual game that with Justin Pipe. I was in this very chair watching that game, and it was very puzzling to witness.
58.
There's lots of strange things happening. Missed doubles, cagey, nervy stuff at the end from both players. And I wouldn't have wanted to be anyone in the way of Justin Pipe after that.
Or anything.
Not at all. And when you're upset as a dart player and you lose, it's just because you care.
98.
And you can see that Rene Eidams cared, because he showed a bit of emotion himself by screaming after the winning double.
Yeah, it clearly meant a lot.
60.
Reyes then making the semis, but for the second tournament in a row in the European Tour, his run was ended by Mensur Suljovic.
140. 160.
A ton 40, down to a finish, but Reyes is there first on 160, but it won't go. Made the point before as well about Reyes in the European Tour. He's only lost to 4 players in Europe this year: Van Gerwen, Suljovic, Peter Wright and Ulf Seder.
Ulf.
59.
We will see Ulf very soon. I think he's qualified for another event.
Yeah, he's qualified for Maastricht in September, at the start of September. The 9th European Tour event of the year. We've got the 8th one coming up in Leverkusen. Reyes just hampered slightly here, but back on track with treble 15, but he misses tops.
88.
Cristo's got to be careful here. He probably thinks he should win this game, but he's got to be aggressive. Because Rene Eidams is visibly playing better than yesterday already, I feel.
Yeah. There's a clear marked improvement so far in the way Eidams went about his business there. It's an early break for the German, and a promising start here as well.
140.
The peroxide head of Rene Eidams and the beardless Cristo Reyes, both taking some getting used to.
And a lot of hockey players don't shave all season. That's why they're all bushy when, especially my team, win the Stanley Cup. Not that I'm gloating, but maybe the Stanley Cup. Not that I'm gloating, but maybe Cristo didn't shave the stubble off until he got one over on Van Gerwen or Wright. And
140.
Dart players are funny animals. They're very superstitious.
Well, away from Europe, he's made 2 quarter-finals on the Pro Tour this year as well. One in the 3rd UK Open qualifier. The other was at the First Players Championship of 5 to James Wade.
140.
Having beaten Suljovic by the same score in the previous round. Made a semi-final on the Pro Tour last summer as well. That was first semi-final in a ranking event. Now he has 2, of course.
45. Return record 121.
So just to get back on track here and break back straight away.
Well, Cristo was looking for 25, treble 20 and double 18.
85.
But that'll do, because he's already left double 18, and Rene Eidams is a little bit far back.
Yeah, scuppered by the first arc landing in the single 8, but still in a good position here. Cristo Reyes, with Eidams not making too many significant inroads here.
Return record 36.
Double 18 for a break straight back.
Short to the second.
That's a confident shot at a double.
And
a very respectful crowd.
Game on.
The start of this Saturday session, giving a round of applause to that double.
Yeah. Big crowd here today as well, by the way. I noticed it as soon as I walked in about an hour before play started. As well as the majority of the benches on the floor having been taken, we've got plenty of seats in the stands around the arena as well. You may be able to see just at the very back of the hall there's a seated stand there, and there's one on this near side as well. And many of the seats in there have been taken, and it's only the start of the afternoon session as well. So the people of Vienna have really embraced this tournament, much as they did last year as well. But today there's an extra something for them with 4 Austrian players in the field. Rusty Jake Rodriguez, and of course the talisman, the main hope for Austrian darts, Mensur Suljovic, number 3 seed here this weekend, looking to make it through to another final once again. He's made the last 2 on the European Tour without winning one. Maybe it could be third time lucky for Mensur this weekend.
It could well be. He's quite streaky, is Mensur. When he gets going on the European Tour, he usually has a spell of brilliance.
Yeah, didn't really enjoy himself last year. He was beaten early. Eidams certainly enjoying himself in this. He's down to a finish of 41 on the Reyes throw. Can Reyes find a response? Needs the treble 19 for bullseye.
102.
Problems for Cristo on his throw.
Tops then for Eidams for a 2-1 lead.
Nicely
done. Very nicely done indeed.
He was winning legs yesterday, Rene Eidams, of 19, 20, 21 darts. That was how weird the game was. That was an 11 dart leg. That is better. So he's obviously had a chat with himself this morning and said, I'm going to have to play better today against an informed player, and he's for the Spaniard. So I think Cristo knows now that he's in a game.
34.
Well, he certainly does, because he's 2 from 2 on his finishing so far. Said that the average of yesterday of 83 was never going to be enough against Reyes today, but the average is up at 94, 95 at the moment. Well, it's just dipped slightly to just above the 90 mark, but nevertheless it is an improvement on yesterday. Maybe a bit too early to be looking at the numbers
77.
too much at the conclusion of the third leg.
And of course, Rene Eidams' nickname is the Cube.
Well, this will do his average no good at all.
45.
I wonder if Picasso would be good at painting him, considering he was a cubist. I can imagine a painting of Cristo Reyes, though,
94.
with a gladiatorial helmet on, just holding up his 3 darts and saying, I'm going to win. But in order to do that,
57.
he has to break back, which he's in a good position to do. And then I feel he's just got to go on a run of 2 or 3 legs to give himself some comfort, because at this point in time, he's just break, 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 and potentially break again. So,
Well, this is in keeping with what Reyes has been doing on the European Tour. He's had...
So require 111.
We'll just see if he can take out this 1-1-1 before we go too much further. 58 away then. Tops.
71.
Sorry, 54 away.
he won't mind being sitting on tops when Rene Eidams is on 254.
58. Cristo require 40.
Sometimes you feel that Cristo plays his best darts when he's put under pressure.
Yeah.
And he is under pressure in this match, but it feels like the legs that he's winning, he's not under pressure. He needs to just focus on his own stuff now. When he was playing against Peter Wright in Hamburg, and he was constantly under the cosh, he brought out world-class 100-plus average darts.
Just like that. Yeah, and the other thing about that performance in Hamburg, he had a second-round win over Nathan Aspinall. He won that 6-5. And I recall that Aspinall missed 3 darts at double 4 and double 2 for a 5-3 lead. So that could have easily gone against him. And there was another
45.
match where he rode his luck against James Richardson in Gibraltar as well. So it's not unusual to see Reyes do this, whereby he has a bit of a rough ride early on in his second round match. We've seen him get to the third round time and time again.
I watched his game against Ulf Seder in Sindelfingen, and I think Cristo would actually say himself that he was very ordinary
100.
that day. Ulf played okay, but Cristo really just didn't come to the party whatsoever.
No.
So he has got a game that sometimes
45.
doesn't turn up. But at the minute he's playing steady stuff. He's doing enough.
Well, after 4 successive breaks to throw, it looks as though we might have a An elusive and potentially all-important hold of throw here for Cristo Reyes. 76 away now. Ooh.
80.
Well,
Cristo requires 76.
whatsoever. So treble 20 for double 8, one imagines. 16 for tops.
56.
Well, he will be back.
I had a shot at tops in the first leg, and it was a very similar dart to that. It was quite low. So obviously some adjustments that need to be made on double top.
97. Cristo required 20.
So to hold throw for the first time in the match. 2 10s. There it
Shot
is.
to the fifth leg.
Good adjustment. That was the first dart. With big flights, that will have shielded the double segment ever so slightly. So that adjustment was perfect.
97.
Rene has taken out some good players to get to this stage. He took out Justin Pipe, who I severely rate. I think we're on the cusp of seeing something good from Justin. It was just a minor hiccup yesterday, I think.
Yeah.
But he took out John Michael to qualify for this event, who has been on the European Tour a bit this year and in the past. And Jan Dekker, of course, who, when we mentioned Sindelfingen before, when Jan played at Sindelfingen, he was unbelievable on his finishing. So to take out those people to get to this stage, he's got to pat himself on the back. If he pats himself on the head, he'll probably get some peroxide on his hand.
36.
Just has that tendency to throw in a very, very loose visit. You know, a sub 45 score. And that's been his undoing.
135.
He's still in contention at 3-2. It just signs that Reyes is just stepping on the throat of Rene Eidams a little bit here and just easing himself into a much, much better position. He's down to a finish on the Eidams throw first as well here.
102. Cristo required 126.
Pros love this finish. 419s in ball.
Yeah.
What an adjustment that is.
There. Brilliant, absolutely superb from Cristo Reyes.
93.
Off beam though with the bullseye.
132.
Now that treble 19 was the equivalent of that bullet in the film Wanted. He just curved it around. It was perfect.
Treble 19 here for Eidams as well. Similar routes, but fails to find it.
104.
Okay, he's in the frame should he get the opportunity, but Reyes looking at double 16 now for a 4-2 lead. Double 8.
Nicely done.
Reyes looking comfortable now.
7th leg, Cristo to throw first. Game on.
Well, the key thing in this match really is that Rene Eidams has not held throw at all.
No.
And since getting to 2-2, Reyes has just
100.
put his foot on the gas a little bit and just taking command of this match. Are you a fan of the peroxide
97.
in sport?
I loved it when Romania did it at the World Cup in France when the entire team, I mean, John Motson had a breakdown, didn't he, when they walked out onto the pitch and suddenly...
Dan Petrescu, he was one of them,
Dan
wasn't he?
Petrescu was in that team, yeah. I assume Hadji was still involved as well. Good team, actually. The one that got to the 94 World Cup was a special team as well. Jordanescu and all that lot. But yeah, when the entire team did it, I thought, well, that makes sense. You know, you can pick each other out. I mean, they wore bright yellow kits anyway, but they didn't really need any extra help picking each other out. And Cristo Reyes didn't need any help there picking out the treble 20s.
95. Cristo required 124.
124. It's a nice number, especially when your opponent is 127 behind. Another treble 20 here. Would have left double 12. He needs everything right now, Rene Eidams.
140.
That's not bad.
It's not bad at all. Down to 1-1-1 again. As Reyes was earlier. Reyes once again moving in the right direction here.
32. Rene required 111.
So now he's got to pray. He's got to
again.
pray that he doesn't hit this. This
He's
will
taking
make him erupt. I guarantee it. Double 18. He'd have hit that, we would have seen some emotion because he's a very emotional player, Rene Eidams. But now, to keep him quiet, he's got to go around it again. No problem.
To the 7th leg, Cristo Reyes. A player Rene to throw first.
Well,
Game on.
Eidams up against it now, standing at the bottom of Everest with only a pair of flip-flops in his hands here.
140.
Now looking at the shirt of Cristo Reyes, he's got CR180 on there. Not to be confused with CR7, who is another
100.
famous sports person.
Yeah, nice little nod to the great man.
And Cristo Reyes.
67.
I wonder what the players will be worth. I think
If
Michael
you
van
could
Gogh would be
transfer.
worth a few quid.
100.
In darting terms, or if you compare him with footballers, who would you compare Reyes to? He's a Cesc Fabregas,
140.
Sergio Ramos. He's
good
more of a
question.
Carlos Puyol, I think.
Yeah, very
137.
reliable, very dependable.
Stoic at the back.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Good reply from Reyes to
140.
that magnificent
You require
177
24.
from Eidams to keep himself in the match.
A shot
Absolutely
to the player.
brilliant. And he's got some good legs in this
I think Cristo
match,
to throw
Eidams.
first.
If you
Game
look
on.
back at that treble 19 that he hit to set up that double 12, it only just stuck in the board. And I get the feeling if he didn't have those flexible points, that was on the
57.
floor.
Yeah. So 5-3, just about hanging in there, Rene Eidams here,
60.
but needs to find a break here and needs to win the next three. Still 3 from 4 in his checkouts. I mean, when he has got himself into positions, he's been fairly
59.
effective, but just over the last 2 or 3 legs, Reyes just hasn't really presented too many opportunities for him. Got back into the reckoning there with that double 12. So he's been neat and tidy once he's got himself into the positions, and he's getting himself into positions again here.
140.
This time it's on the Reyes throw, and this time it's just that bit more valuable.
Well, interestingly enough, you look at this performance from Reyes and you think, yeah, he's played okay,
100.
but he's got a sneaky good average here of 95 and change. That's a good performance. But he's still got to get over the line. Eidams is fighting here, and he was in this position yesterday against Pipe,
140.
and he played some decent stuff at the back end of that game.
Back-to-back ton 40s for Eidams. Shame he had that opening 60
100.
really.
And you recall 161.
Nevertheless, he's still in good shape here. Very good shape indeed. Rene Eidams threatening something special here, but not to be. But he will be back with Reyes on 185.
137.
He's starting to find that treble 20 with a bit of regularity, the German.
And he's down to double 12 again, just as he was in the previous leg.
90. And you require 24.
So this to break back and to prolong the agony for Cristo Reyes, and 5-2 becomes 5-4, and all of a sudden it's game on again.
Two consecutive 13 dart legs from the cube. Never thought I'd say that in my life. Forget about the simplify. He's had his trial run. The cube is playing well here.
Yeah, 3 sub-15 dart legs for Rene Eidams. His finishing is absolutely eye-catching, isn't it?
That's
4
Jan
from 5.
Decker like, isn't it?
That's
59.
you know, against a player like Cristo Reyes, he had to produce something special today, and he's pretty close to it. 3 breaks apiece, back on throw, but Eidams still with work to do here. Just needs to maintain that
45.
intensity, and he's once again thrown in a sub-100 visit.
Well, with those 2 brilliant legs that he's just had,
140.
simply couldn't take his foot off the pedal, because Reyes is ready to finish this match off. Eidams has got to keep sprinting. He's got to keep finding that treble 20, otherwise he's not going to see the winning line, because Reyes will be past him already.
Well, that was a very, very important final last dart. Eidams just about with the advantage here.
87.
Well, Reyes was looking to leave 170 there. 4 18s and a treble 20 would have left that 170. Eidams has still got the throw here. He knows how important this visit is. He needs big, numbers now. And that's a good anchor dart, and he knows it.
$97. You record
128 is a tricky shot. Treble 18 is the only target he's looking at. He gets it. 74, he's got choices. Another one. Leaves double 10. It's a beauty of the emotion. The German has taken us to a final leg again. Reyes has the dart. That's the silver lining for him, but that 128 is the champagne shot in this match so far.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant from Rene Eidams. One or two similarities with the way he clawed his way back against Justin Pipe yesterday here as well. Rene Eidams on the finishing. Not too many players will have stats like that today.
You could sell
into a position, because if you do, your finishing so far suggests you'll get the job done. Reyes looking a little bit rattled here now.
140.
If you do, your finishing so far suggests you'll get the job done. Reyes looking a little bit rattled here now.
140.
Well, he loves to make it exciting, Reyes. I remember a game last year with Kyle Anderson in Dusseldorf, and he had the game by the throat. Well, unfortunately, he let go of the throat, and Kyle Anderson won it. It was a great match, but Reyes was cursing himself for losing that, and he doesn't want to lose this match here. He doesn't want his momentum to go away.
Well, 48 average was these, and Reyes chipping away again, down to a finish of 161. Eidams just needs to keep pace any way he can here. 290 away. Well,
84.
Two treble 20s would have left 170. As it is, he's not there yet, and Reyes looking at 161, but it won't go. But 6 darts here for Cristo Reyes, with Eidams on 225. Just needs to set this up as best he can, looking at the 19s and doing precisely that.
Well, when he needed it, he's pulled out arguably his best leg of the entire match. Double 12 after 12. It's almost the job well done for Cristo Reyes, the number 13 seed.
Yeah, hard for Rene Eidams this. All he can do now is hope and pray that Reyes misses double 12, but Cristo Reyes does not miss double 12. And Cristo Reyes, a semi-finalist in Hamburg, secures his place in the last 16 here in Vienna as well, but he was given a huge scare there by the cube. A puff of the cheeks for Rene Eidams, who will surely now go backstage and reflect on what might have been. 5-2 down in that one, clawed his way back to 5-5 with a stunning checkout of 1-8, but he steam in the final reckoning. 3 breaks apiece in that one. It was a really good encounter, and Cristo Reyes, well, he's dodged another bullet once again.